My, I had to come before you. I thank each and every one of you all for taking time to be here. I'm Dr. L.O.V.E. Smith, and this is WSW Radio, the number one internet station. We're excited because we have a chance to share some more knowledge, and we call it addressing the issues of our neighborhood, block by block. Today's show is the Love Cafe, and as we focus on love, just the acronyms of love in our title says the Love Cafe. We just said this is the real love talk show that soothes your love appetite. So whatever appetite you have, we have a show that's going to bring you some knowledge about various topics. Our title of our show today is Understanding Relationship Vetting. Once you're able to understand or you're not able, you're going to have to choose vetting for clarity, choose vetting for chaos. So you have to make that decision, choosing vetting with clarity, not chaos. And that's our focus of today's show. You're joining Dr. L.O.V.E. Smith, as I said earlier, the host. And if you want to be a part of the show as a guest, you have an opportunity through your social media, because we're the number one social media program, in essence, internet station, number one radio. So it's WBSW Radio, the number one internet station. We're excited because we have an opportunity. I see a couple people joining us. I see that Jermaine, thank you so much for jumping in here. Then we have, is that Shateria, McKay, Coco, Pretty, Nazi, thank you so much for joining us. Those individuals that's popping up now, thank you so much. We have Josiah is joining us. Erodica, thank you for joining us. Many more are coming in. So let's talk about how you can connect with us. As I stated with you, if you want to be a guest, you can go to riversidefm.com. Use this link, which is riverside.com/studio-radio-internet. And you can just come live and you'll come through Riverside FM, our main broadcasting station. You have a chance to join us that way, or you can stay with the social media sites. If you want to be able to share your opinions, stories, and examples live with me and the world, you can use Facebook.com, Big O Live, and TikTok Live. That's at Dr. L. D'Alberto Smith. Second Facebook channel is partnered with the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, Zeta Phi Sigma chapter of Greenville, Alabama, and their handle is Zeta Phi Sigma Greenville. The second Facebook channel. Then you can check us out on Twitter at Dr. L. D'Alberto 2017. You can also, where we have two channels on YouTube. The first channel, you can join us as well as subscribe, which is the Smithway Enterprises. And then the second channel on YouTube is Dr. Lorenza D'Alberto Smith. You can check us out through each one of those social media sites. So we're excited about coming before you. We also want to share with you our on-demand episode and how you can check them out, which are audio only. They're available by typing in WBSW Radio, by going to podservefm.com, type in WBSW Radio, and when you see, you have an opportunity to check us out on Alexis, Apple Podcasts, Edge, Google Plus, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Paradise, Snitchers, Pandora, Spotify, and Amazon Podcasts. You have a chance to check us out, so please take an opportunity to go back and check out some of our on-demand episodes. WBSW Radio, the number one internet station, has listeners and watchers in 61 countries and on 6 continents. We're excited because we're interactive. You have a chance to check it out through, just be a guest on the show through the social media side. I see several people making a request, and what I normally do is give us a chance to get the introduction, and I'll hit the invite button, and you can jump on. Now, make sure you understand it's only like 3 minutes you will have to address whatever topic we have. We have Blueficial joining us as well. Thank you so much. A member of, I'm trying to make sure I say it right, of the Blue and White family. I'm going to say either a brother of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity or a Sora of Zeta Phi Beta sorority incorporated. LaBeo Nick is joining us. Thank you so much for taking time to be here. As we move forward and talk about how to register for WVSW radio giveaways, you have to send your name along with a mean of transaction. If you're not interested in receiving money from us, that's what the mean of transaction is. We're going to send you some money. Just send your name, type your name, or if you already type in, like Danny, for example, you're typed in. What I need for you to do is go up under the comment section and type in, put me in the raffle, or just type raffle. You don't have to put all those other words. Type raffle. V. Davis, thank you so much for taking time to join us. 615 is on top of it today. Thank you so much for jumping here. Jeff Jetton is joining us. As we talk about you registering for our giveaways, we have many prizes, many opportunities for you because we try to do it throughout the year. We're coming up on the time of start of school for a lot of places. I know a lot of schools in the southeastern part of the United States is getting ready to kick off the 1st of August. And I know several schools on the Atlantic coast and in the Midwest don't start till right at September. So we will still have 10 book bags full of generic school supplies that we're going to give away to you, but you must register at Lexi B. Living. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Daniel 0430. Thank you, Doc, for jumping in here right quick. But you need to register. You can register by sending your name only, if you're comfortable with that, to Lorenza D. Smith 15@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of the money giveaway where we're giving you money, send your name with a means of transaction. We have 5 that we're working from: Bitcoin, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle, and that's Lorenza D. Smith 15@gmail.com. So we look forward for you to register for our giveaway. Proceed with WVSW Radio by hitting the like button. I need you to hit the like button. Alicia, is that Breed Love? Thank you so much. D, is that Dee D? Darling, thank you so much for joining us as well. Gun 085, thank you for joining. Again, if you want to support us, hit the like button. I need for you to hit the like button. We want to get at least 1,000 likes before we leave today. You can get them in there. Just keep hitting it. Give me at least 1K. We're asking for 1K today. The last thing we want to make sure you do is not only just hit the like button. If you want to subscribe on YouTube, and our 2 channels are Dr. Lorenza D. Alberto Smith and the Smithway Enterprise. You can join us or go to YouTube, type that in, join us, or also subscribe with us. We really thank you so much. Now, if you want to monetize with WVSW Radio, you can. Show your support that way by going through Big O Live, Facebook, Instagram, Podbean, Pod Paradise, Riverside FM, Super Live, Tango, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you so much for the support. We have many joining us, and truly thank you so much for taking time. Let's get down to what we came here for. We're going to talk about understanding relationship vetting. And I want you to think about the other part. Choosing with clarity, not chaos. See, it's hard to choose with clarity when you're selecting someone, when you bring chaos into the space. You must be in a position, Adrena, thank you so much. You must be in a position where you are in a sense of understanding, having clarity, not chaos. If you're a chaotic person, most of the time you're going to run with chaotic people. The ideal is to get people that are more focused with a positive attitude. And if you got a positive attitude, then you'll be in a good position to vet someone, a mate, a partner for a relationship. See, understanding relationship vetting is very important. We truly have to really consider what we're dealing with. See, we have a tendency to select individuals, but in most cases, to be honest, we select people that are not like-minded. But then sometimes we select people that are reflected of who we are. That's why we're comfortable with selecting them. So we don't do a full-fledged vet of those people. Whether you do a full-fledged vet on a job, don't accept a job until you fully has vetted that venue. I'm asking you to take an opportunity to do that. I see Coco Pretty by, is it Naja is hitting the button. You know, I'm going to invite you in. I'm going to give you 3 minutes and see can you share some thoughts about understanding relationship vetting. Invite button, even though my internet having some unstable points there, but you have been sent the invite, Coco Pretty. And you can join us if you choose to, and you can talk about, and we want you to talk about understanding relationship vetting. We must have a clear understanding of exactly what vetting is. We need to be able to determine how your relationship can be successful or have a quality relationship by vetting who you are romantically involved with or professional involved with a person. So vetting requires you to do it in all aspects of your life. You must be doing it through your relationship, through romance. You must do it through your professional relationship, and you must do it through your personal relationship. So you have to, first of all, think about what kind of relationship and what qualities do you want out of that relationship. See, when you enter into a relationship, you must think about talking about that you feel is important. That means that through the tiers of a relationship, which is associates, the acquaintance, the friendship, and then the romantic part, you need to go through tiers and be able to come from the beginning, being intentional by vetting those people. But it's sad when people with the supercomputer we have, which is your phone, your laptop, your iPad, you can vet people by just Googling their name. See, you shouldn't be blaming the product, which is the person that you are encountering through a relationship, whether it's romantic, personally, or professional. You can vet the way you're going. On a job, you need to know what it is. It don't always mean that you have to accept it immediately. What you need to do is make sure you vet the environment, vet who's at the job, Never know, you may run across someone that's at that store that's working. Warren Morris, thank you for joining us. You need to be able to vet. See, vetting is not judging, not assuming, not hoping, not guessing. Vetting, where most people don't end in a painful relationship because they were fooled. Dr. Fluff, thank you for joining us, taking time to be here. That's Dr. Fluff, a Fluffy. He did an educational doctorate degree. Truly, you need to be able to vet people so you don't have to go through this pain or deal with the foolishness. See, we end up in these relationships and we blame the product. Did you vet that person? You end up there because you never learned how to vet. Do you know how to vet? Essie, thank you, Essie, for joining us. Do you know how to vet? Are we talking about something that you don't think you need to do? If you don't want pain, and if you don't want to be fooled, you better vet those individuals. You'd heard of this show they had on television called Catfish. See, you get catfish because you don't vet people. You don't check people out. You just go with the lust that you have when you first see people, and you might meet people. You go with the lust instead of going with the vetting. See, when you're able to, you learn how to feel. You learn how to desire. You learn how to attach. But you never learn how to evaluate. Let's go back. Put yourself, your emotion, learn how to be emotional. Learn how to desire, mean or want. Learn how to attach. Have a problem with attachment. You're attached to something that may not be good. But you know what? It's like-minded. It is also reflected. See, relationships are reflected. That's why it's important that you vet these individuals, but you don't take time to evaluate them. And here's the truth. Why we struggle. Thank you, Brittany, for joining us. Here's the truth. See, you don't get the relationship you want. You get the relationship you choose. If you think about that, you don't get the relationship you want, but you get the relationship you choose. So you must vet to it max. So you can choose people that can bring something into your life. Quit choosing people who's always taking things from you. There's a lot of people out here who take, because you're willing to give, because you know what? You got the pain. You're being fooled. It looked good. It smelled good. Don't mean it's good. Just remember, you don't get the relationship you want or desire. You don't get the relationship you choose. It is a choice. And you choose based on how you vet. How's your vetting in relationships? Today, we're going to break down what vetting really means. why it matters, and how to do it with clarity, confidence, and emotional intelligence. When you vet, you can clarify who you're dealing with. When you vet, it gives you confidence to take the next step. When you vet, your emotional intelligence becomes mature and stable in regards to that relationship, in the relationship in the future. So let's look at what is relationship vetting. Relationship vetting is the intentional process of evaluation. That word intentional, you must be intentional. If you want to look at the tears, even with the associates, the lust stage, you need to be intentional whether you want to be in that relationship. Because that intentional process allows you to evaluate whether you need to be in this relationship or not. When you use the process of evaluating, it allows you to say and check who someone is. Who someone is. Ronaldo, thank you for joining us. Ashley, thank you for jumping in. When you use the process of evaluating, you see how they operate. You notice what their values are, how they treat you, and how they treat themselves. If someone is chaotic, struggling in their own relationship with themselves, please understand you will experience the same thing if you choose to go into that relationship. The process of evaluating, better known as vetting intentionally, allows you to see how they handle life, how they handle conflicts, how they handle responsibility, or willing to be accountable for their actions. Vetting is not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's not about catching someone doing wrong. It's about observing who they are when they're not trying to impress you. That's vetting. Vetting is not paranoid. Vetting is protection. You can't get food. Won't bring much pain when you vet. Know what you're dealing with. Vetting is not fear. Fear brings pain. Vetting is wisdom. You learn from dealing with people, but also researching individuals as well. Why it matters? See, most relationship pain come from skipping the vetting process. Skipping the vetting process. See, people rush into relationship because of the lust. Then a few other things like loneliness, chemistry, attraction. Fantasy, pressure, trauma bonding, the fear of missing out, the fear of being alone. So you don't vet. You just go into the relationship. And the first thing you say when things don't work out, it's the other person's fault. See, you got to remember, vetting allows you to choose and make a choice. Intentional vetting allows you to make a choice. Do you want to make that choice in your relationship? Understanding relationship vetting. But here's the truth. Chemistry is not compatibility. Attraction is not alignment. Connection is not character. Consistency is not commitment. Vetting protects you from emotional manipulation. Wasted time. Your time is valuable. You control that. Now, if you wasting time on a situation you know is not going to work, you done better. Repeating the cycle, you're doing the same thing. Your selection process, your vetting process is poor. You're not intentionally using a process to evaluate these people. You're going to spend your valuable thing, which is your time and your effort. Trauma reenactment. Settling for less. Settling for less. Ignoring red flags. See, you got a chance to see this person, male or female, for who they are. When you vet them, you'll know. You say, I can't know everything, but you'll know enough that you won't have much pain or won't be fooled. Some people choose from desperation. I've been lonely so long. I need someone in my life. I'm all alone in my place, and I need someone to keep me company. Vetting is how you stop choosing from your wounds and start choosing from wisdom. Evaluation. There are 3 levels of vetting. The 3 levels of relationship vetting. Most people only use level 1. Level 1 is surface vetting. Just on the surface. You vetting on the surface. Talk to one person, you're completely fine with that. Do no other research. See, this is where most people stop. You look at appearance. I know that's one. I know you've been in that position. Charm. Conversation. Oh, he got good. She got good conversation. Chemistry. Oh man, it's making me tingle. Making me tingle. That's chemistry. And shared interest. That's a surface vetting. See, this is the fun stage. Surface vetting is the fun stage. But it tells you almost nothing about a long-term compatibility. The second one is behavior vetting. This is where you observe patterns. You look at consistency, communication style, emotional maturity, conflict habits, accountability, and reliability. This is where the truth began to show in level 2, which is behavior vetting. Third level, character vetting. This is the deepest level. You look at integrity, values, empathy, self-awareness, discipline, honesty, and how they treat people who can't benefit them. Some people are such manipulators that if they can't use you in their life, they dump you. See, character is the foundation of every healthy relationship. So you need to know the 5 pillars of effective vetting. JM joining us. Tony, thank you for joining us. Deb B, thank you so much for joining us. The 5 pillars of effective vetting. Pillar 1, time. You control your own time. You should not ever make time for others and don't make time for yourself. You control the time. There's one thing no one, except our Lord and Savior, can take from you. It's time. Time reveals everything. See, you cannot vet someone in a few weeks. That's why we have the associate stage. You may be communicating back and forth with that person, but in the same process, you're vetting them because you have an interest. You're tingling, you got an interest. You can't do it in a few weeks. You cannot vet someone in a honeymoon phase. Can't vet them. That's that lust. That's the social stage. See, you cannot get a complete understanding or evaluation of a person when you're in that honeymoon phase. You cannot vet someone when you're blinded by excitement. Makes me laugh. He's good on the eyes. You know, these kind of things blind you. See, time exposes patterns, inconsistencies, emotional habits, hidden intentionals, and true priorities. Time is the enemy of deception. Time is the enemy of deception. Pillar 2 is observation. People tell you why they are through their actions, not their words. Your actions speak louder than anything, not the words you're saying. The words that coming out of your mouth don't mean nothing. Watch their action. Observe how they handle stress, how they treat service workers, how they talk about their exes, how they respond to boundaries, how they believe when they don't get their way. Sorry, behave. Let's change that belief to behave. See, they get mad and they throw a fit at like 3-year-olds. That's a red flag. How they show up when you need support. Observation is more powerful than interrogation. Young John is joining us. Thank you. Pillar 3, questions. Ask questions that reveal depth about that person. Good examples of questions you can use to ask the individual you want to vet them. How do you handle conflict? What does commitment mean to you? What are your long-term goals? What does emotional safety look like for you? How do you take accountability? Question reveals clarity, not chaos. Answers reveal alignment, not chaos. Pillar 4 is boundaries. Boundaries are the ultimate vetting tool. People respect your boundaries are safe. People who resist your boundaries are dangerous. Leanne, thank you. Linda Johnson, thank you for joining. Boundaries reveal emotional maturity and stability, respect level, self-control, and their intentions. Consistency is the next pillar. Pillar 5, consistency is the trust. Anyone can be amazing for a week. Miss B, how you doing? All right. Lowndes County. Thank you, Miss B. Thank you for joining us. See, anyone can be amazing for a week. Anyone can be charming for a month. Anyone can be perfect in the beginning. But when you say consistency, it will reveal discipline, character, emotional stability and maturity, and genuine interest. What are they interested in? Their interest is in what? Getting what they can get from you and move on. Consistency is the difference between potential and reality. Powerful their consistency. They'll show themselves and they do it early. They begin calling every morning, 2 times a day, 3 times, but then they start backing off a little bit more. Now you see the true person. Look good for a week, look good for a month. But now you're into 6 months and they no longer call but 1 time a week now. See, these are red flags. And the red flags you must vet for. These are not maybe red flags. These are non-negotiable, because inconsistency, if their words and action don't match, believe in action. Des, thank you for jumping in. Jermar, thank you for jumping in. If their action and words don't match, believe the action. Lack of accountability. If they never apologize, never reflect, never on their part of what happened, instead they run. They get out of there. I got to go. They're not going to apologize for their action. They know they're going to be held accountable because now you're going to address it. They're going to get out of there. Emotional instability, explosive anger, shutdown, manipulation, are volatile. Claudia Williams, thank you so much. Licensed clinical social worker. Thank you so much for joining us. Poor communication. Avoidance. Defensiveness. Dishonest or passive aggression. Passive aggression. Disrespect is coming up next. Subtle or obvious. Both are deal breakers. They can be subtle or obvious. When they disrespect you, I don't care for the first time, it's time to go because they have showed themselves. Run as fast as you can. Unhealed trauma. Not trauma itself, but the refusal to address it. Selfishness. Relationship require reciprocal. When people is selfish, I'm telling you, that red flag won't fly. That red flag won't allow you to be the best version of yourself. That's a problem now. Scotty beamed me up because it's time for me to go. The lack of purpose, directionless. People create directionless relationship. They got no direction. They don't know where they're going. They can't even follow. But they want to leave. Jealousy and control. Possessiveness is not love. King DQ, thank you for joining us. It's Potteris, I'm going to say Potteris Verdad, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to repeat that. Jealousy and control. Possessiveness is not love. It's insecurity. Love bombing. They're intense, but they're not intimate. They're intense about what they're doing, but they're not in an intimacy. Now we have the red flag. We're seeing the things that occur. Let's look at the green flags you should look for. The green flag you should look for. Healthy people shows healthy patterns. Healthy people shows healthy patterns. Emotional maturity. They can regulate emotions and communicate clearly. Accountability. They own their mistakes and repair them. Consistency. It's Keita Boo. Thank you for joining us. They own their mistakes and they repair them. Then consistency. Their behavior matches their words. Respect. They honor your boundaries, time, and feelings. Self-awareness. They understand their patterns and work on them. Self-awareness. Empathy. They care about how their actions affect others. Stability. Emotional, mentally, financially, and spiritual, which are well-being. When a person is not emotionally stable, I don't care if you have mental, physical, spiritual, social, you lack the one which you need all of them. Or she need all of them. If she's emotionally immature, the rest of them not gonna matter very much. Because you're always on the defense with them. They're not stable. They're chaotic. Purpose and kindness. First, kindness, not just to you, to everyone. They're kind to everyone. Purpose, they have direction and discipline. Last but not least, healthy communication. They talk through issues instead of avoiding them. How to vet without fear or paranoia. Vetting is not about distrusting everyone, assuming the worst, being guarded, being cold, being suspicious. Vetting is not about that. Give a shout out 513 D5. Thank you for joining us. Tony Knight, thank you so much for joining us. Bob, thank you for jumping in. Vetting is about being aware, being intentional, being grounded, being patient, and being wise. That's what vetting is all about. We're talking about having an intentional process so you can evaluate your relationship, whether it's romantic, personal, or professional. You must feel comfortable vetting people because you know it makes you aware of what's going on. It gives you intentions. It keeps you grounding. You're grounded so you know where you're going. You're being patient and being wise. You vet with openness. You vet with openness, and it's so important that we do that. We vet with openness, not fear. You vet with clarity, not anxiety. You vet with standards, not walls. Vetting yourself first is most important. You cannot vet others if you haven't vetted yourself. That's why I say if you're having a toxic relationship with yourself, you don't like yourself, you cannot have a positive relationship with someone else. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if it's on your job. I don't care if it's romantic. You must be comfortable and happy with yourself. Vet yourself first. Be self-aware. What are my patterns? These are questions you ask yourself. What are my patterns? What are my wounds? What are my triggers? What are my non-negotiables? What do I need to feel safe? My frat brother, none other than Brother Taylor Likely of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you so much, brother, for joining us. What do you bring to the relationship? You're vetting yourself. Ask these questions. What will I bring to the relationship? Do I feel safe? I'm not going to be negotiating my values, my beliefs. What triggers you? What are your wounds? Have you addressed your wounds? What are your patterns? What am I still healing from? See, you can't go into a relationship without the healing process completed. You require support from professionals, family, and friends so you can heal, so you will not be carrying the baggage of trauma and be triggered that you destroy everything up in front of you. Shout out to Alice, Shannon Rush. Thank you so much for joining us. Self-vetting creates self-awareness. Self-awareness creates better choices. See, it's a choice. Everything you do, you choose to do it. Life is all about choices and trade-offs. Sometimes you have to trade. You have to give up something. But that's what life is all about. So self-vetting creates self-awareness. Self-awareness creates better choices. As we get ready to close, this is WVSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I am Dr. Larissa D. Smith, and we're focusing on understanding relationship vetting. Are you choosing chaos, or are you choosing success? In other words, clarity. See, when you vet people, that gives you clarity about whether you want to take that route. When you're vetting even yourself, you're checking yourself out to see who you are and checking other people out. You can make a good choice once you vet yourself. You must vet yourself before you go into a relationship. You must heal before you go into a relationship. The process must be completed. If you're with someone for 12 years, it's going to take you half that time to get yourself in order through counseling and through the support of family and friends. But do not overlook the idea of using professional help because they have no skin in the game. But vet those individuals too. Don't just choose someone because someone else told them it was great. Yes, that's part of the vetting, but you need to check out for yourself. You need to have a consultation with them too to see if you like what you're hearing. See, when we're talking about vetting, I just want you to take one message from today. Let it be this. Vetting is not about finding perfection. It's about protecting your peace. Because if you don't vet people and you go into a relationship with them, there's going to be pain. And they're going to fool you. L.O.V.E 87 is joining us. Solution LLC is joining us. Thank you so much. Remember this statement. Vetting is not about finding perfection. We're imperfect people, all of us. You can walk around, I'm perfect. No, you're imperfect, but sometimes we do perfect things. And they're pleasing to our Lord and Savior. See, vetting is about protecting your peace. You deserve a relationship built on clarity, consistency. Someone asks you, what are the C's dealing with vetting? Clarity is number one. Seeing things clear and precise. Consistency, knowing that person not doing it for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they're willing to go the long haul. Character. That's what you need and you deserve in a relationship. People say you don't deserve. Yeah, you deserve in a relationship that is built on character. It's built on compatibility. It's built on communication. The C's are important. The last but not least C is commitment. So you're building your relationship on 6 C's: clarity, consistency, character, communication, compatibility, and commitment. You're not building a relationship on chaos, confusion, convenience, chemistry alone. Crystal Payton, thank you for joining us. Vetting is how you stop repeating cycles. You say, I ain't going no relationship because I'm always not successful. Maybe you're not fit because you know what? The relationship is built on clarity, commitment, compatibility, communication, consistency, and character. Your relationships are built on that. If you don't have that, you miss one of them, I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Challenge me, because if you miss one of them, you know what some other C going to creep up in there? It's going to be chaos, confusion, convenience, and chemistry alone. The cycle will continue on over and over again until you decide to work hard on the vetting process, me being intentional about vetting for a relationship. Vetting is how you choose better. Vetting is how you build healthy love. So I want you to keep in mind those C's. You can write them down: commitment, communication, compatibility, character, consistency, and clarity. You have character, then you have clarity. Use those 6 to build a relationship. Make sure you're fit enough to be in that relationship. Put the work in for you to be the best version of yourself, so you can have a very successful relationship life, whether it's personal, professional, or romantic. You must do it. No longer can you sit around and believe everything is all right. Can't sit around and say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I stink at relationship. You know what you probably need to do? Is replace the thought process that you have. You deserve a relationship built on clarity, character, consistency, commitment, communication, and compatibility. That's what you should have. Give a shout out to Henry. Thank you so much, Henry, for joining us. As you get ready to close out of here, again, this is WBSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I am Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith, excited about coming before you, the host of the Love Cafe. And we didn't get real in depth into the Love Cafe, why we call it the Love Cafe. First of all, the menu includes starter and appetizer, which is your lust. See, that's your lust. Then we get to look at your entree. What about that entree? That's your attraction. We're talking about this through the whole process. Lust, attraction. The dessert is the attachment. We quickly get attached to people after the charismatic part is shown to you. The kindness is shown to you in the beginning. Smooth talker. So you get attached to them. And in the menu, that's your dessert. And then we're talking about the beverage you receive first, because the first thing the server asks you what kind of beverage you want. The beverage in the menu of the L.O.V.E Cafe is awakening. That sounds like vetting. Sounds like vetting. Something that wakes you up. You get it first. Mean your beverage, you get it first. You should be vetting people before you move to the lust, the attraction, and the attachment. Always remember that the L.O.V.E Cafe is the real love talk show that soothes your appetite. The acronym of love, starting with the L, means listening, loyal, likability. The O is overcoming, observing, overlooking faults. The V is value, vulnerable. The E is everything, everlasting, excitement, empowerment. Love is patient, caring, humble, intimate, unconditional, commitment, dedication, consistent performance, support, encourage, compromise, defection, selfless, state of mind. So the cafe, the L.O.V.E Cafe, mind. Does not hurt, humiliate, abuse. That's our L.O.V.E Cafe. The real love talk show that soothes your appetite. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining us, because we really wanted to share the challenge of understanding vetting. You must be intentional. You should be intentional about relationships anyway, because you need to choose with clarity, not chaos. If you're having a chaos relationship with yourself, don't go out here and be tricking around with other people, playing around with other people. Get yourself in order. Be the best version of yourself. Truly, you can make it. Then you become fit. Then you become fit. Do you want to be fit? Do you think you fit now? Fit to be in a relationship. I want to let everybody know I love you all, and I thank you for joining us. Come from my heart. I love come from my heart. WDSW Radio, the #1 internet station. I am Dr. Lorenzo D. Smith. So proud and so excited to be here. I want you to take care of yourself, be safe, and we'll be able to holler at you tomorrow, because we're going to be talking a little sports tomorrow. We're getting ready to start a football, and we're going to make sure, give a shout out to a user. We just don't have a name, we just have a user. Then we have Albert G. Jr., member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Thank you so much, my brother. Then we have Sunday Remedy. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to say hi to Sunday. Thank you so much to each and every one of you all. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be making it do what it do about 4 o'clock tomorrow. And we're going to be talking sports. Prime time. We call it our prime time. It's Talking Sports Plus Prime Time Podcast. We're going to make it do what it do. Everybody be safe. Take care of yourself. And we'll make sure we holler at you. You holler at us too. Thank you again. And I just want to say I love you. And ain't a thing you can do about it. We'll see you